Oh, here we go. It's Bernie Sanders destroys Trump's Treasury Secretary in Senate committee hearing, 21 June 2025. So, 3 months, 2 months ago. 1,627,027 views. And I probably saw this when it happened because I follow these things. But in a fiery and unmiserable exchange from the Senate Finance Committee floor on June 12th, Senator Bernie Sanders confronts Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent over the details. Big, beautiful bill. Sanders never once, blah, 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 blah. Posted from political, from the channel Politics Joe. Politics Joe. So you're going to get into this. And right away, I remember the Democrats, a wealth tax or an inheritance tax or a tax on wealth could be a tax on your income. It could be a tax on anything. Wealth could be a tax on estate taxes after somebody's died and what happens with the goods and taxing an estate. But you could sum it up from the Democrats' point of view, because I'm a Democrat, like a Roosevelt Democrat, and I'm more like an ultra right wing Gestapo MAGA Republican. Gestapo MAGA Republican, I don't know. Wehrmacht MAGA Republican. I'm really radical MAGA and really hate the left, extreme left, like Bernie Sanders. So when I say Democrat and Republican, please understand the context. But the Democrats impose wealth tax to impoverish the wealthy and maintain the political class status quo and impoverish those in poverty. I think that's it. I can't say that again, but at least it's on the video. I can't repeat what I just said. I can't remember it, but I think that's sort of it. So think about what I just said. What I just said here. Yeah. I'm going to stop. Well, wait a minute. Let's go a little bit.
Help me out here. My understanding is the Trump administration has, I think, 13 billionaires in office right now, leading government agencies. Is that about right, do you think?
I have no idea, Senator.
I think that's what the number is. Do you think it's a coincidence, given the large number of billionaires in the Trump administration, that this particular piece of legislation would provide $235 billion in tax breaks to the top 2/10 of 1%?
Here comes the wealth tax in a minute. From Senator Sanders.
Senator, I will tell you that when the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act passed, my tax rate went up.
Well, I don't know your exact situation, but I can tell you. Tell me about how many people do you think are in the top 2/10 of 1%?
Sorry?
Number of people in the top 2/10 of 1% who would benefit.
All right. Well, this is a trick question because the Congress, Senate, and House, well, they haven't done a census. Or they used to do the American survey and other census instruments. I haven't looked at the Bureau of Labor or the other bureaus where the census data has been spread out, but they do have people that go out, and used to anyway, knock on doors, a randomly selected number of doors based on information from the post office, and take surveys by hand, and those would get collated, and that was the United States Census and economic data and everything else. So this is a trick question for Bernie. Well, maybe Bernie knows how to get the info, and the other stupid people like us, or all of us, including everybody but him, Bernie, he all alone, him, you, he all alone. And Angus King, his independent buddy. The spoilers of all spoiler alerts.
From this particular $235 billion tax break?
Well, the top, I know the top 10% is right. now paying 7%.
That's not the question.
Of the total
my question is, why do you...
No, my question is this. Mr. Sanders, you right there. Why doesn't yeah, I'm asking him, pointing right here. You, Mr. Sanders. Yeah, you, Mr. Sanders. You, Mr. Sanders, pointing at him. You, Mr. Sanders. Why don't you voluntarily and get your buddy Angus King and agree to move forward so that the Senate and consent, the two of you, so give consent so that the Senate can hold a hearing according to the terms established by Mr. Thune and Mr. Schumer, because you both vote with Schumer all the time. So you're like Democrats and you caucus with them and your votes get counted. Well, Mike Johnson, the secretary, the Speaker of the House, should not call back in the members of the representatives until that guy there, consents, along with Angus King, to come up with terms to hold a hearing about the ability of the Senate to exercise its awful right to be the judge and return of elections of all of its senators, even King and Sanders, because they shouldn't be voting with the Democrats. They should be made to caucus by themselves. But that upsets the whole apple cart, perhaps, but you can't take a bite out of the apple, even if it's rotten.
At a time of unprecedented income and wealth inequality, when people like yourself economically have never...
Meaning there's a little group of bigger group of people who have nothing, and a bigger group who have everything in the middle part, where he's in the middle of the Democrats, mucking it all up, you see. He's making out good, too, as a member of the Senate. He's wealthy. And used to live and go to school in my neighborhood in Brooklyn, along with Schumer. So what's the deal? Why is he in Vermont now? And where the hell's Angus King from? You see my point? I'm not going to relent. I will not relent.
Had it so good. Why do you think it's a good idea to cut Medicaid for low-income and working-class people by $700 billion?
Bernie is cutting Medicaid for people because he's strangling the other part of the budget and failing to have a vote. So he's got the whole things mucked up in the mucky wuck of the Gungy Wump Swamp Mercs. He's a liar. He's bad. Him and Angus King need to go. They're loyal to no one but themselves. No one else back home or anywhere. You cannot have a prima donna holding the world hostage. Two prima donnas hold the whole world hostage, using the good faith and credit of the United States of America, and mock me and every other American, even USAKans, let alone right-wing, MAGA Republicans loyal to Trump.
Give $235 billion in tax breaks to the very richest people in this country, perhaps a few hundred families. Please justify that and tell me about that.
Well, Senator, I don't know, but the Democrats had the trifecta, and there was no tax increase or wealth tax on bills.
The trifecta of the wealth. Trifecta wealth. Interesting. And here comes the next. The wealth.
You choose.
I'm not talking about a tax.
You chose not
Mr.
to.
Bessent, I am not talking about a wealth tax. Explain. A few hundred of the wealthiest families in this country, $235 billion tax.
All right. Trifecta. What's a trifecta of a wealth tax? Trifecta. Come on, you don't know how to bet in sports betting. I'm not going to get into it right now. I'm not going to do it. No, I'm not.